Me Before You is a heartfelt romantic drama based on the novel by Jojo Moyes. The movie tells the deeply emotional story of Louisa Clark, a young woman with a bubbly and quirky personality, and Will Traynor, a wealthy man who is physically disabled after a tragic accident. Their unlikely relationship transforms both of their lives in unexpected ways, touching on themes of love, loss, and the complexities of personal choice. Louisa Clark was a young woman living a quiet life in a small town. She was known for her quirky fashion choices, brightly colored tights, floral dresses, and all-around eccentric style. Lou has always led a somewhat uneventful life, but she's happy enough, despite her relationship with her boyfriend Patrick lacking excitement. Patrick is very focused on his own fitness routine and doesn't show much attention to Lou, leaving her somewhat unfulfilled. Things were going well, or so she thought, until one day the cafe she worked at shut down. Now, Lou was jobless, and that's never a good thing when your family is counting on you to help pay the bills. Cue the panic attack. Lou's parents, especially her father, were hardly supportive. He was all about "we're going to be fine," while probably deep down knowing they weren't. She knew she had to find something fast. That's when she stumbled upon the job offer for a personal assistant for a man named Will Traynor. Will, once a highly successful and adventurous businessman, had everything going for him until a tragic accident 2 years earlier. Will was hit by a motorbike while crossing the street. He was now paralyzed from the neck down, dependent on a wheelchair for mobility. His life, once filled with thrilling activities like traveling and extreme sports, is now filled with frustration and depression, and now consisted mostly of snarky remarks and Netflix marathons. He has a caregiver named Nathan and is deeply resentful of his condition, feeling that his life is no longer worth living. When Lou takes the job, she is initially shocked by Will's bitter and sarcastic attitude. Will has become a very different person, cold and distant, and his relationship with his family, especially his mother Camilla, is strained. Camilla hires Lou with the hope that she can help bring some joy and life back to Will's existence. Their first meeting was like a cold splash of water to Lou's face. Will was bitter, sarcastic, and had an air of superiority, treating her like a lowly servant. "I don't need you," he said on repeat, makes snide remarks about her clothes and her lack of experience, which made Lou want to pull her hair out. But Lou didn't back down. Her attitude was more like, "I'm going to make you laugh, even if it kills me." And honestly, it almost did. She endured his comments with a smile and tried to engage with him on different levels, like when she learned he was a huge fan of extreme sports, which of course he could no longer participate in. Will's life was dark, and Lou was about to find out just how deep the darkness went. As the days went on, Lou and Will formed an odd friendship. Lou would bring him funny stories from her family and offer him light-hearted distractions from his gloomy existence. Her wardrobe also didn't hurt. After all, who could be sad looking at those flower print dresses? Lou, with her vibrant personality and simple view on life, shows Will that there is still beauty and meaning to be found in the world, even if his physical abilities have been taken away. She introduces him to new experiences like watching an action movie and enjoying the taste of food, slowly helping him rediscover the small joys of life. Will's sarcastic humor eventually turned into a few chuckles, but even with their banter, Will never fully let her in. He was stuck in his own personal grief, feeling as if life wasn't worth living anymore. As the bond between Lou and Will deepens, the emotional walls that Will has built around himself start to come down. Lou learns about Will's deep depression and his desire to end his life on his own terms. Will shares with Lou that he had decided to go to a facility in Switzerland where euthanasia is legal. He believes that his life is no longer worth living and that his future will only be filled with pain and helplessness. Will is determined to end his life, and he has made arrangements to do so in 6 months. This was a gut punch for Lou. She was not prepared for this news at all. She had assumed her job was just to make him slightly less miserable, not save his life. And here's where things got real serious. Lou refused to accept Will's decision and set out on a mission to change his mind. She began planning all kinds of grand gestures, trips to exciting places and new experiences she thought might make him see the joy in life again. At this point, it was becoming clear that Lou wasn't just trying to show Will the beauty of life, she was falling in love with him. But what Lou didn't know was that her boyfriend, Patrick, wasn't thrilled with all her time spent with Will. Patrick was a fitness-obsessed man who thought that the secret to life was doing endless squats and running marathons. So naturally, he wasn't the most emotionally supportive boyfriend. One day, after Lou had spent more time with Will than with him, Patrick gave her an ultimatum. He was upset that she was wasting so much time on a man who wasn't going to get better. This led to the breakup that everyone saw coming, but Lou hadn't expected. But the breakup wasn't all bad. Lou finally realized that maybe Patrick wasn't her Mr. Right after all. Will was becoming her focus, but even then, she had no idea just how much Will was shutting himself off from the world. She continued planning experiences for him, hoping that one of them would strike a chord. But no matter how hard she tried, Will's mind was made up. His decision to end his life remained unwavering. Throughout this journey, Lou grows increasingly attached to Will, and it's clear that their relationship has shifted from one of care and companionship to one of love. She couldn't deny it anymore, but here's the kicker. Will was in love with Lou too, just in his own complicated, self-sacrificial way. In the midst of all of this, Lou had one last attempt at showing Will what he was leaving behind. She took him on a vacation to Mauritius. They traveled to a beautiful beach where Lou arranges for Will to have a chance to experience the ocean, something he had always loved before his accident. Lou spent hours getting everything ready. And then came the kicker. He couldn't swim, that's right. He was in a beach paradise but couldn't even dip his toes in the water. Still, Lou kept pushing forward, trying to get Will to feel something again, anything, and perhaps have a change of heart. However, despite all her efforts, in a moment of absolute heartbreak, Will shared with Lou that his plan to end his life was still on track, and he needed her to accept it. Will's decision remains unchanged. He has made peace with his choice, feeling that the life he's living is no longer the life he wants to endure. He wanted her to live a full life, one without the burden of taking care of him. "You've made me feel alive again, Lou," he said, "but my life isn't worth living." Lou was devastated. Every inch of her soul screamed, "No!" But even though she loved him, she knew she had to let him make his own choice. Lou, torn between wanting to respect Will's decision and hoping she can still change his mind, struggles with her feelings. She finds herself in love with him, but realizes that she cannot force him to live if he does not want to. As Will's planned departure date approaches, Lou is heartbroken. She has come to realize that she cannot convince Will to change his mind, and she has to let him go, despite how much she loves him. Will, for his part, tells Lou how much she has changed his life, even in the short time they've known each other. He confesses that she gave him a sense of purpose and helped him experience life in a way he hadn't thought possible after his accident. Will admits that he doesn't regret the time they spent together. Before his death, Will makes one final request. He wants Lou to live her life fully without letting his death hold her back. He urges her to go after her dreams and find the kind of happiness she deserves. He knows that she has the ability to lead a full and beautiful life, and he wants her to do so. This act of love and selflessness profoundly affects Lou, and she promises Will that she will continue to live for both of them, taking the lessons he taught her about love, living authentically, and embracing the present. She takes his advice to heart and starts to make changes in her own life. Lou quits her job and begins to pursue her dream of working in fashion, something she had always wanted to do but had never dared to try. As she moves forward with her life, Lou continues to carry Will's memory with her, feeling his presence in her heart as she takes the steps to live the life he had hoped for her. In the end, Lou finds peace and a sense of fulfillment, knowing that she made Will's final days meaningful, and she continues to honor his memory by living a full and adventurous life. Me Before You explores complex themes of love, sacrifice, and the autonomy of personal choice. It challenges societal perceptions of disability and quality of life, presenting the difficult reality that some people might choose to end their suffering on their own terms. The film also delves into the healing power of love and human connection, demonstrating how even the most unlikely relationships can have a profound impact on both individuals. While the film presents an incredibly emotional journey, it is ultimately about embracing the beauty of life, even when it feels overwhelming or uncertain. Will and Lou's story is one of growth, understanding, and learning to live in the present, despite the challenges that life presents. It's a bittersweet story, but one that resonates deeply with anyone who has loved, lost, and fought to find meaning in a difficult world.